Well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I was up yesterday at like afternoon-ish, I think. I didn't, yeah, I didn't sleep much. Yeah, okay, so I was up on Saturday, and then I didn't sleep. No, yeah. So I was out all night on Friday, and then I didn't sleep much on Saturday. So I had a short day Saturday. I was in bed early Sunday morning, up Sunday afternoon, and now I'm at almost a full day. I'm gonna actually change my batteries because I haven't since I got back. I'm actually gonna need to dump my memory card soon too. Only got about half an hour left. I was up all night. I finished reading the budget, and now I gotta get back to. I can't like I don't. I can barely even remember what I was doing. It was like a week ago or something. It took me a while to read that budget, I guess, huh? It was what? It was the 22nd? Today's the 20. Yeah, no, it was a good week. Wow. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to finish the budget, or sorry, I wanted to finish reading the budget. I wanted to finish the. I, I wanted to catch up and then clean. Um, I think I'm probably gonna give myself to the first. I've got money for laundry for the last month, but I'm not gonna. You know, you'll notice I have the windows open. We're getting a little warmer. It was nasty smell overnight. I'm kind of hoping that the air changeover kind of fixes the problem with the smoke in the foyer. Um, and it's yesterday that it didn't smell so good, so it's not fixed yet. What can I say? Or I may just end up with a more sensitive nose. I don't know. I know that I finished that. There's lots of writing about it on my blog, and I'm gonna get back to finishing the concert reviews, so I can finish the concert reviews. And like, I mean, this should not be anywhere near as long as it's taking, right? But if I can finish that, then I can get to doing the vlogging, and then I can get back to finishing the music vlog reconstruction, music blog, sorry, reconstruction, and then I don't even remember why I was doing it. And then I'll have to go back and figure out why I was doing that, so that I can get back to doing the ultra reality for the first couple of months of 1997. There was a reason I couldn't do the ultra reality until I finished that or something. I can't even remember. I'll have to go back and figure that out. So I'm actually gonna eat because since I've been standing here, I've been hungry. But yeah, weird. Did I? Ugh. I moved here to finish my discography, and like this is all relevant. Maybe the budget wasn't. Maybe the budget was a waste of time, but that was only a week. Everything else I'm doing is relevant, and it's just a lot slower than I wanted it to be. That's all. Um, I'm at the end of the day. I don't really expect much else, so that's probably it for the day. Probably. Hopefully, the next time I talk to you, it's about finishing the concert review stuff. I don't have any more plans for the month, or no, not concert plans, anyways. I'm glad I got that one day out. Um, we didn't really talk much about the show. I'll do a review up eventually. I think the thing I just need to point out is that like it was obviously not. I don't even remember if I pointed this out the other night. I mean, like it was obviously not live, but I mean, it's what it is, right? It's the nature of modern music. Um, like, what did you expect him to show up and just like punch buttons on a laptop? Because that's where it all came from, was a laptop, right? There's a song or two where he played guitar, but I mean, like the reality is that like the live component is vocal, and that's what it was. It wasn't anything to play because it's all programmed, right? So Anyways, like I said, I don't really want to do too much of a vocal review on it, just because I don't like an oral review on it, because I don't know the material so well. Um, but I am glad I got some time out and did something, right? I'm happy about that, actually. But now that means I've got to go back and finish what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get back to it. So, but I'm I'm feeling lost, to be honest with you. Like, I go through this every once in a while, right? Because this is the story of my life. Is I want to be doing so much, but I mean, like, I'm doing something, right? Like, this isn't. It's easy to ask the question: is this really that important, right? And in a broader scale of things, it's easy to make the argument that it isn't. But you have to remember that I'm constructing a history of myself, right? And this is as important as anything else in context. It really is. I'm sorry. You may disagree with me, but it is. So I got to. It's over. In fact, it's been almost 2 months. I've been doing these concert reviews for almost 2 months. By the time I'm done, it probably will be 2 months. That's insane. But at the same time, it's also 20 years worth of history, right? It's easy to say this is crazy, but it's easy to forget that there's a lot of my life being condensed, right? And I could even think of it as being an addendum to the ultra reality that I've put aside, right? I'm living like some Lynch reality, right? Some David Lynch reality. And this is just, I mean, this is what's coming at you, like different times and different spaces, all jumbled up, and you've got to rip it apart. And, like, it's going to come out as it comes out, sometimes scattered, sometimes not. Sometimes there's an order. I'm trying to order it the best I can. It's maybe in my mind, maybe it's scattered in my own mind, right? Maybe it doesn't even make sense to me, and a part of maybe a part of everybody's life is ordering their own past, right? If I get all Eastern mystical bullshit stuff, right? Maybe I'm ordering parts of the universe that I'm stuck in. I don't know, forever, over and over again. Hey, I'm looking forward to being a snail next time. That's what I'm all about. Hey, if it means I get a reprieve from figuring this shit out for a few millennia, I'll take it. Anyways, no, maybe that's it, right? Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm ordering myself for my next life. How about that? Huh? Because I'm gonna put this all together, and it's gonna exist somewhere, right? I'll, I'll I'll make it long enough that I can get to an optical technology that I can put, 100 terabytes on this and just hold it, right? And it'll all fit on one disk or one little drive. I'll transfer it from A to B, right? And then, as I'm talking, I'm jumping media here, but I'm talking about immortality. Um, I should point that out, and this will probably be a constant from now on. Um, is that I'm going to be stating some of the things that I say. You'll have to have read some of my, yeah, yeah. Okay. See, last year I was trying to make it more like all under one media form. I think that I'm probably better off saying, okay, I wrote that there. I'm not gonna. Why was I reading things I wrote? Why don't I tell you just go ahead and read it? And you know, maybe I'll talk about it, but read it, and we can play off it that way. I think that's yeah. I never was a teacher, but I think maybe it's part of it's a pedagogical thing. Anyways, I need to give you I need to give myself more space, right? Because I can't be constantly preparing everything into one. I mean, that was the point, right? Is I wanted to step back from it and just let it breathe. Um, but I'm talking about, shape shifting and immortality. Maybe that's the answer, huh? No, really. Maybe I am preparing my future. Maybe that's the point of this particular manifestation of whatever I am, is just to collect the past. But if I'm collecting the past, maybe the reason I'm doing it is for the future. Maybe I've always known that, right? Maybe it'll make sense in a future life. Or maybe that's just all a bunch of bullshit. I think I'm leaning towards that. Some entity, something or other will make sense of this in the future. This is why I'm doing it. And it's just, it doesn't make sense to be driven to it, right? It doesn't make sense to be driven by a desire for the future to understand you, unless you're so alienated in the present that it's the only thing that you can make sense of, right? You conclude that the present has no ability to understand you, so I say, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want, and I'm going to package it all up, and the future can understand it. Except maybe I'm getting bogged down in the presentation for the future, rather than just, and I'm not just doing what I want. And I'm constantly justifying it by saying, okay, there's not much more left, right? I get a little bit more, and once it's done, but it never is done. There always is something else. But I mean, if I get over it, I get over it, right? Obviously, I can't. Anyways, like I say, I'm just gonna try to get back to this. Hopefully, it's done soon. I got through the budget. I finished something. It's been a while since I finished something, so I should be. Maybe I've reached the end of this iteration of things, and I'm back to rebounding. Finally, that would be actually quite nice. Because I've been saying for so long that I'm almost ready to go next to the next part. And every time I'm almost ready to move on, I get stuck and pulled out and dragged on. I can't. I seem to be really unwilling to take that next step, don't I? I do. You know what it was? I think it was partly, yeah. I couldn't close the next phase until I'd finished rebuilding. Is that what it was? I think that might be, because where am I next? I'd be going. I finished all the yeah. I wanted to make sure that okay. I think that's what it was. I could go back and do it, but I think the reason I'll go back and check, but I'm done up until early 99, right? And I think it was that in order to go on to the next step, I had to have the notes too. Yeah. I wrote it down. That's the thing. I know I wrote it down. See, this is what happens when you think something's going to take a day and it takes 3-4 months. Yeah. Okay. Like I say, I'm going to get something to eat. Hopefully it's quick. Hopefully it doesn't take me too much longer to finish. I've already done, 11 plus, I've already done 15 years. I've done 15 years worth of concert reviews. Track down shows as much as I can. Like, that's it's actually not a trivial amount of work, right? There's like 10 gigabytes, more than that, I think. No, way more than that. Yeah, I think it's more like 100 gigabytes worth of downloaded video material. I've scoured through Word documents. Like, there's a substantial amount of labor there. I don't want to, like it's taking a long time because there's a lot to do. Even if I have been distracted by this and that and this, there's a lot there. So, anyways, back at it. I'm just wasting. Like I said, I'm gonna need to dump this in the next couple of days. So, hopefully, I can finish that before I have to dump this. That's got to be my goal. It's got to be.